Hello everyone, this is Badar Boy, and today I'm playing a game that many on my Discord server have asked me if I'm ever gonna actually play it. Mainly Koopa. Yeah, shout out to Koopa. He's a cool guy. I very much appreciate everything he does for the channel. He's a good artist as well. He and others asked me, when would you cover Ostalgie? And I said, sometime soon. Why not? And that time has come. So, as you can see here by the menu, Ostalgie is an East German something. East German thing, I apologize. Ostalgie is a German word that means nostalgia to the good old days of the East, of the German Democratic Republic, or DDR in German, which is actually better than the German Democratic Republic. But anyways, it combines two words, Ost, which means East in German, and Nostalgie, which means nostalgia in German. Also in French. Yeah, your boy speaks French. Some people know that, many don't, so now you know. Je parle français. Anyways, Ostalgie is this nostalgia that many people have to East Germany, to the times where communism existed, and it is, I think, it is because after the German unification, East German found many problems in this new Germany they found themselves into, mainly unemployment, which was non-existent in the DDR. But what can we do? Now, before we enter, I just want to say that this is gonna be a boring game, a little bit boring game for me, and not because the game is boring in any way, shape or form. It's because I am not using any music in the game. I have literally, if you want to check this here, the music is at 0, the voice is at 0, and I have a huge variety of communist music and well, cultural music, not really communist. That's actually a good Hungarian one. It's I Love You called. It's very much beautiful, but unfortunately I cannot use none of these because I'm afraid not of copyright, but of copyright strikes. For example, I do use some copyrighted music, but I am not monetized, so it doesn't really make any difference for me. But if the video is taken down because one song from the 90s is apparently still copyrighted, then yeah, I'm pretty much not gonna redo the entire thing. So without further ado, let's start a new game. I will definitely, not probably, I will definitely put some music into the editing. After editing, put some country style music, the country that we're going to play today. And you're already hearing this song probably, because this is you watching this after editing. Anyways, let's start a new game. So, who do we have? We have a huge array. The Soviet Union is non-playable, and Yugoslavia is not playable. But the main playable country is East Germany. I have the Legacy of Hoja and Follow the Curtain activated, so we can play East Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania. Oh, I hate saying Romania. Romania, Bulgaria. Yeah, I'm going with the R. And Albania, whatever. Czechoslovakia. Yeah, it was still Czechoslovakia. And of course, we still have 3 other countries: North Korea, or the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK. We have the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. That is very interesting, and I actually played a lot to actually get a good ending in it, so I might just play it. And I think I've left it obvious by now. We're playing today as Cuba. Hold on a second. You already know this. You clicked on the video. You clicked on the video, seeing the thumbnail, seeing the title. Yeah, we're playing as Cuba today. And unlike East Germany and Romania and Afghanistan and a little bit Albania, I haven't played a single minute in Cuba. I haven't played in Cuba because I want to keep all the surprises in, but many events are basically common events between all these nations, so yeah. Now, the achievements cannot be unlocked as this Gorbachev call, Western propaganda, pressure from Moscow, and pedagogy. And to be honest, I don't think I want to make the game harder for me just yet. So, before we start, we are the CMEA, and we are conservative socialists. So, let's start. Alright, as you can see, this is the political map. I'll show you a little bit about Ostalgie. So, alright, so also you don't see Cuba, but we can control it via here. Your country, you can control the borders. This is the diplomacy map. You can interact with many countries. Iran. Oh, we can actually do diplomacy and trade with Iran. I did not know that. Oh, so you can interact with various countries here and there and everywhere, and for example, let's see, Ireland. We can make Ireland socialist, but we're gonna reach that in time. So this tells us that researchers are done. This is our country flag, of course, and as you can see, we have 2 agents. And now, how can we work over here? It's all determined by many of these and many of these. So we start by the unity of the party, how much the party is united, and how much you are popular and you won't get cooped by your own party. You have approval from the USSR, which is, as it seems, support of the people, how much your people support you. You have Westalgia, how much people would like to support the West. Standard of living, as it sounds. Diplomatic reputation, how much does people respect you or condemn you. And you have the social stability, because you know we're in 1989, shit's gonna hit the fan over here. And of course you have the money. Now you go into politics, and as you can see, here we have the number of agents. We have 2, and I like how they use the Stasi icon. You have, we are a constitutional majority and leading our alliance. As you can see, we are the only party allowed. We can give speeches and make elections. And to be honest, I never tried any of these. So yeah, I think it's like funding, right-wing, centrists, social democrats, and right-wings. Oh, so you have the party line. We are following Leninism. You have limited freedom, late-land system, a one-party state, and political system, develop socialism. Alright. Of course, we have the leader, the government. We have our leader, Comandante Fidel Castro. Sovman. He is the protege of Che. You can actually change this. He's the protege of Che, discreet economist and a fan of planning. Ramon, he's the voice of the people, supporter of an increase of social spending. Hart, anti-Stalinist, democratic socialist who advocates debureaucratization and the expansion of freedoms. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Borrego. Actually, if you want to change appoint different ministers into your government, your unity will drop, and we don't want that. As for the ideology, we have Valdez. Valdez is a technocrat for the rational allocation of resources and the introduction of computer technology. We have Bapra, internationalist warrior, a seasoned revolutionary supporter of the struggle against imperialism. Yeah, I want to appoint him because I'm going for Guevarism 2.0. Free us, pragmatic general, military specialist executing any orders of the government. Alright, just look, I am appointing this guy and my party popularity just dropped by 5%. Right, so here's diplomacy, here's politics now. We go to science. We already have continue agrarian reform searched, but I want to construct the industry. Now we go to economy. You can see basically the economy. We have 5 areas in the country: the capital, west, north, east, and south. And while playing Afghanistan, actually you have the east and south locked because they are controlled by your enemies, so you need to fight to get them back. So we can build a lot of things: special service headquarters, a Lenin statue, a TV center. All of these have their buffs and debuffs. Oh, there's a Soviet military base. Weekly agent network, dissatisfaction of NATO. Oh, of course, we have dissatisfaction of NATO for how much NATO would pressure us. But I don't think there's a NATO invasion. We have military bases, but what I want to establish is a research institute to develop science. So as you can see, I go back to science, and it will take us 5 days. Alright, I want to go back to economy and kickstart another research center. Alright, it's gonna take some of my budget. Oh, it's gonna take some of my budget weekly. That does not sound right. But nonetheless, here we go. So before we click on this, let's look at India. India is a reformist. We can sign a contract for the supply of weapons. We can have asylum there if anything bad happens. And of course, once we have 10 agents, we can start a provocation on the Pakistani borders. We can establish relationship, trade, customs, and we can take out Deng Xiaoping from the government. We can also go with Syria, so we can recognize their claims on Lebanon. We can also do trade with them and help them economically. About Gaddafi, we can support him. We can also recognize his claims in Chad and assist with weapons. We can start trade with him, and as you can see, we basically played with his inner politics, and we can establish an emergency oil supply channel. Alright. Which means we basically have done everything we can do in Libya. Syria, not so much. But here we go. Let's start. Alright. So, first things first, we have these events, so we click on them and they appear. So let's start with our own event. Eternal Revolution. Comandante Viva Cuba. Today, exactly 30 years ago, the dictatorial regime of Fulgencio Batista was overthrown during the Cuban Revolution. I sound Italian. I sound like a crappy version of Mario. I'm sorry. I apologize. A popular democracy finally triumphed on our island. In honor of this grand event, millions of Cubans are waiting for your inspirational speech, which will mark the logical conclusion of the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the popular uprising. However, the international political situation has changed dramatically. Perestroika is underway in the Soviet Union. It's basically a reform that Gorbachev did. And the Cold War is coming to an end as a result of which two radical and careless sayings can cause a flurry of criticism from either the United States or the USSR. In this regard, Gorbachev might not like the assessment of the events of 1959 and the future world revolution. Before his upcoming visit to Cuba, one does not want to spoil relations with the Union. Could it be better to shift the vector of appeal to the people in favor of the need for social change? It will be the liking of the USSR. Speak for social change and democracy in the whole world. Call on the masses to rally against imperialist oppression. Congratulate the country on a holiday without touching foreign policy. Yeah, no, I'm going full against imperialism. Yeah, Viva la Revolution! What's gonna Gorbachev do? Cry to his mother? at a large-scale rally in honor of the 30th anniversary of the Cuban Revolution. A fierce speech was made. Castro called on all the oppressed peoples of the world to unite in the struggle against the imperialist policies of the Western powers and strike the capitalist system with the powerful fist of the proletariat. This word really irritates me sometimes. The proletariat. Like it is easy to say, but at the same time it's not so easy to say, you know. In alliance with the revolutionary peasantry, the world is on the verge of a great turning point. The Soviet Union, the hegemon of the socialist world, is now on the verge of destruction. And if Cuba remains an orphan in this growing world of war and violence, then the Cuban Revolution will survive, no matter what. That's how Fidel Castro concluded his speech with a standing ovation. The world community, represented by the USA and the USSR, secretly condemned the overly revolutionary and radical speech of the Cuban leader. Oh, fuck you, Gorbachev. Gorbachev, whatever you want to call him, condemning Castro's attempt to stop the policy of diffusing world tension. However, other socialist countries liked our appeal to the people of the whole world, and congratulations were sent to Havana from all over the world. I mean, we have our brother Assad in Syria, Gaddafi in Libya, and now I got the move from YouTube. But yeah, so you see, our approval from the USSR drastically went down, but support of the people went up, and the party unity went drastically up. Right, and before we continue, I want to see what can I do. Actually want to do something which is brown. Oh, I need more money, but if before 1990 I think I can, before November 1990. Right, I think we can turn Ireland into a a socialist state. Oh, we can also support the yes, there was nothing here to see, YouTube, nothing at all. Right, so let's see. Fight against chemical weapons. A conference on chemical weapons begins in Paris. Representatives of 149 countries are ready to sign a declaration banning the use of poison gases, chemicals, and bacteriological weapons. The Soviet Union is also ready to sign the declaration and wants us to sign it too, making our contribution to the world disarmament and ensuring peace. True fulfillment of the declaration's obligations will cost us some funds and weaken our military capacity. We will not sign to disarm ourselves from the weapons against imperialist aggression. Our enemies can have nuclear weapons while we cannot defend ourselves. A nation that disarms itself is a nation that will die. At least that's what Castro would have said. Yeah. Fight against chemical weapons. As you can see, our approval from the people went up, our unity of the party went down, and our diplomatic reputation did go up or down. I don't know. Fight against chemical. We refuse to support the initiative, declaring our lack of trust in the Western world and whether destruction of their part would not be fake. The world community is not happy. Well, fuck them. Well, we ain't bound to no world community. Alright, we need to assist. We need more agents. Need more agents. By the way, you can look at the economy, how economically the countries are, militarily how they are, and in terms of government. So we can also support the left wing over everywhere, from Algeria, Somalia, Ethiopia. Where is it? Oh, I can actually take over now. Earlier than 1991. Right, I'm gonna just I need more agents. I do not know what the fuck was out there, but I hope you didn't hear it. Hopefully it's not bullets, fine. In the Soviet Union, the film Intergirl was released. This event would have gone unnoticed if not provocative plot of the film where the main character is not a very decent work. The plot makes you empathize with her, and the Soviet Union is shown in negative tones. However, Western society, too, at the same at the same time is too. At the same time, the film is already sold abroad. This can only testify to one thing: the liberalization of cinema in the USSR. Are we ready to accept this? Will this not be the beginning of the end to socialist art? Art should be free, allow more publicity, we release Intergirl for hire, but we leave state supervision. We will never betray the lofty ideas of socialist art. We continued our previous policy in the film industry and did not show the film, despite the fact that in the future our cinema will be banded propagandistic. We cannot allow our moral ideals to fade away. Of course, sooner or later, discontent with this decision will increase if we do not do something else. We'll figure shit out. So, yeah, 172 days and we can build factories. Normal human beings. And we're actually racking up money, which is not bad. Not bad at all. We need to always keep our money up, our agents up. So once I can build factories, everything would change. For the better. What a fucking joke. Friendship with the Americans. As if that's ever gonna happen. Let's send military assistance. You can actually look at statistics. These are the real life statistics of Cuba, and these are ours. Yeah, and also we can take a view on the situation. So we have see the trade, our partners. We have Libya, Yugoslavia, India, Laos, Finland, Greece, Nicaragua, and economic alliances, state debts. We have 9.2 state debts. Borders. We have a paid open aid. Talking of Brezhnev stability. We have patriotism. Sovereignty, nostalgia. We have the situations, how much we control in Europe, in Asia, the control in Afghanistan, development of YDR, yeah, control in Nepal, Africa, control Algeria, right, so we need to keep an eye out on this. We have also the bureaucracy. And we shall continue playing. I can't trade it with them, no problem. Problem at all. But you know, it's better than nothing actually. But 0.5, it is actually pretty good. Alright, so let's first of all check on Vietnam. The disease of the Vietnamese reformer. Alright, before I continue, these are a lot of these are common events, and in future series in Ostalgie, I will not be reading them. I will just gloss over them and move on. Nguyen Van Linh, Vietnamese Gorbachev, as he is called, is in the press for carrying out the strategy of updating Doi Moi. Today was hospitalized because of a heart attack. There are no data. Is that our data? I never know. On this condition yet, but this is our chance to intervene in Vietnam's internal affairs and stop economic reforms. Local perestroika, which still looks like Xiaoping's reforms, has caused discontent among conservative circles. With unofficial leaders is Defense Minister Lee Ducan. I butchered that. On the other hand, the party also has a more radical liberal wing, which also offers political reforms headed by Truong Xuan Bash, whatever, whom should we support, or do not waste time on distant Vietnam. Let's send Lin wishes for a speedy recovery. Our position in Vietnam is too weak. We have position of liberals in Vietnam is too weak. It's not worth our attention. Yeah, it's not really worth our attention. But I really wish we could have done something. Yeah. He did not react to the disease of the Vietnamese General Secretary. Soon he left the hospital and continued his economic reforms. Yeah, alright, so Gorbachev's visit. A delegation of the Soviet Union headed by General Secretary of the CPSU, Mikhail Gorbachev. You know what, I'm just gonna say it how we say it. Mikhail Gorbachev arrived in Havana today, and an official meeting between our countries is about to take place. As you know, we have a very negative attitude to the policy of perestroika in the USSR and consider it apostasy to the West and restoration of capitalism. On the background of the deteriorating situation in the socialist camp, we had a chance to criticize Gorbachev and his useless foreign policy again. However, the Soviets will clearly touch on the topic of reducing aid to Cuba, ouch, on which we depend very much. Perhaps if we are not so radical, we'll be able to reduce the losses from the Soviet decision. The last word is yours, Comandante. Criticize Gorbachev and his policies. Carefully condemn the foreign policy of the USSR. Approve the good initiatives of perestroika, but nothing more. We don't have enough influence to end this Gorbachev. I'm gonna carefully condemn the foreign policy of the USSR. Like, I hate Gorbachev's policy as like Castro role playing over here, but I am not dumb. I am not stupid enough to cut off complete aid from this USSR. At least not yet. We need that. So we're gonna carefully condemn. During the meeting between the USSR and Cuba, Comrade Castro condemned the foreign policy of the Union in relation to the socialist camp and criticized the concessions to Western countries and NATO. To this remark, Foreign Minister Edward Shevardnadze, accompanying the Soviet delegation, said the Soviet people want peace, and for its sake it is necessary to sit down and negotiate at the negotiating table with former enemies. According to the results of the meeting, Gorbachev and Castro between the Soviet Union and Cuba was concluded a treaty of friendship and cooperation for a period of 25 years, as stated in the text. The parties came to such a decision based on the existing relations of fraternal and unbreakable friendship and solidarity between them, based on the common ideology of Marxist-Leninist doctrine and internationalism, as well as the unity of the goals of building socialism and communism. However, the USSR also announced the reduction of Soviet aid to Cuba, which will cause enormous damage to our economy, which has been focused on the USSR and the CMEA for 30 years. Ouch. Fun. It's all gonna be fun. And see, nothing too bad is happening. Alright, so we need to act fast. Has secretly financed Noel Brown. And we need to eliminate Dick Spring. So we need a fuck ton of agents. Hopefully we'll be able to pull that off. Oh, our economy is actually growing even more. Alright, so let's go to Myanmar. State Peace and Development Council. Comrade, before us today came news of a coup d'etat in the Socialist Republic of the Union of Burma, for the common people also known as Burma. They held the promised national elections which won the opposition Democratic League, which was not allowed to power by the efforts of the State Council for the restoration of the law and order, to which the old military junta involved. We can send them congratulations and thus establishing for the first time diplomatic relations with them from the moment they leave for international isolation, formally recognizing the results of the coup. However, it is possible in this situation we should continue to adhere to the Moscow line and ignore them, because any economic ties will not bring us special benefits in view of the underdevelopment of Burma economically. Also, our General Staff is proposing a project to expand our sphere of influence and protect the revolution from the capitalist threat by sending humanitarian and military aid to the new rule of Burma. But such actions can be negatively met by Moscow. Can ignore it and let the head hurt in Moscow, not with us. Our agents are too weak. But we can send ambassadors with congratulations in connection with stabilization of the situation in the country and prevention of the counter-revolution. And we will do just that. The government of Myanmar has accepted our ambassadors. Official relations have been successfully established. From Moscow, however, came a telegram expressing their bewilderment caused by our actions. I mean, bro, the Soviet Union is gonna break. Let us expand our power as much as we can. Big Brother's betrayal. Commandante. Our agents report that there is a brewing conspiracy against you. At the moment, it is known that there are traitors in the government who, with the assistance of the KGB, want to overthrow you and set a course for restructuring according to the Soviet type. Among them are prominent figures of the Communist Party of Cuba, such as Interior Ministry Colonel Tony de la Guardia, and Divisional General Arnaldo Ochoa. And it all happened only a month after the visit of Mikhail Sergeyevich. What will happen to our country and party in a year? It is urgent to take any measures against the conspirators. Charge them with corruption and shoot them? Or put them under house arrest to avoid unnecessary dissemination of information? They're too powerful. Put them under house arrest. Soviet Union could betray us. I don't believe it. Let's put them under house arrest. I have a feeling that we will lose tremendously. Today, Tony de la Guardia and Arnaldo Ochoa were placed under house arrest on a number of charges. There are rumors that security officers are going to beat out of them testimony about relations with foreign intelligence. Well, if they don't say it, make them say it. The only right thing to do. Only right thing to do. Right, so for 43 days we will have what we want, but until then I want to build an army base. Too little money. Oh, yeah. What can I do? We can decline sanctions or convince our allies to oppose sanctions for supporting terrorism in Afghanistan. Let's do this. We've sanctioned Pakistan, alright. Now what? Never done. Oh, we still can't trade with the Syrians. And with this little event that we will have over here, we will end this video. And this is the events in the Tiananmen Square. You know, the thing that let's read. Urgent news from China. According to the information on June 4th, in Tiananmen Square, there were gathered dissatisfied with the political course of the CPC. Mainly students. Discontent of the population most likely was caused by the merger of the party apparatus with business. The threat of inflation and unemployment. What sentiment prevailed among the protesters is still unclear, but the Chinese government reacted harshly and used troops to calm the population. Should we somehow react to this? Of course, one should, with all the civilized word, condemn China. But will we not alienate a promising ally in this way? The situation is complicated by the fact that the Soviet government has not yet reacted. It is difficult to predict the consequences. I don't know what happened on June 4th, 1989 in China. Now, I don't know what happened. Nothing of importance happened. We can, of course, do nothing and wait for the action of the USSR. We can condemn the legal actions of the PRC, but with the power of hindsight and looking into the past from the future, let's give Castro a tip that in the future China is gonna be ruling the market. So yeah, speaking in the defense of the Chinese government. After the events, many Western countries condemned the government of the PRC. Japan even imposed sanctions. However, negotiations on their cancellation are already in full swing, and the transfer of Hong Kong should soon resume. However, we defended the PRC, which earned us her appreciation, but brought upon us the wrath of the West, who declared us supporters of totalitarianism and dictatorships. As if they didn't do that themselves. The socialist camp simply responded with silence. In terms of domestic policy, China is turning towards the acceleration of market reforms, which conservative forces are trying to resist with their idea of a birdcage, guardianship of business by the state. Alright, so we can start working on trade with China, and with time we can just snap Deng out of existence. Now, of course, we can license some weapons and send analysis to our brothers in the DPRK, and that is exactly what we are gonna do. But yeah, as you can see, this is how the game works. Oh, by the way, I want to start. I don't know what to do. I want to start a provocation. I want to turn Ireland socialist. I want to... I don't know. Can I send a loan to the USSR? Yemen, this is Yemen. Right, first and foremost, I do want to have a huge number of agents. Actually, I managed to pull that off in Afghanistan, even though my economy was in shambles at the beginning and I had nothing researched. I actually managed to raise a powerful, and I'm not saying that powerful, but an actual powerful spy agency that would rival the CIA and the KGB. Like, I mean, I eliminated Deng Xiaoping. I changed the entirety of the PRC leadership. That must account for something. So maybe not all of my socialist revolution hopes would happen in this playthrough, unfortunately, but maybe some will do in time. And actually, just like a last joke before we end the video, I'm gonna send financial assistance to Syria. Wait, but I thought that I'm gonna lose some reputation. Turns out, nope, I do not. I can actually restore diplomatic relations with Egypt, but yeah, it's just not the same without Nasser anymore. Well, not Nasser, Abdel Nasser. Yes. Anyway, see you all in the next one. Goodbye.